And the other integrated component is water harvesting and well digging from using runoff. This is very useful means because this is not something that is adopted in the country. There is a lot of water that flows every year during rainy season, but nothing is, almost nothing is used. So we are encouraging people to use this system at homestead level, each family. And this is integrated with drip irrigation system using this runoff. And I tell you, the area that is really arid, does not grow, but really fertile, has been able to produce good amount of food, and people are being able to be fed and have enough food. The other thing is integrating different type of crops within a small plot of land, which is really helping. Farmers are being able to find variety of food from a small part of land. And the other advantage of this is planting leguminous crops in other crops would increase the fertility of the soil. And especially when it is integrated with drip irrigation, it is very effective. And the other integrated component is saving and credit system. We focus on saving of self-help group people coming together, organized, sharing their resources together, and helping each other to establish income-generating activities. That way, people have found themselves to have income from nothing to something, able to send their children to school, able to feed their children at home level. And so saying this, I would say it is really possible, especially if organizations, including the government, come together and work together to attain such a difference. I would like to talk about a bit, I don't have much time. Nope. The challenge we need to have for the government. In Ethiopia, land still belongs to the government. This is one drawback of long-term development. Unless one farmer feels ownership of the land, it is almost impossible to think of long-term development on that plot. Investors are being called and invited and given very good area of land for biofuel crop, which should have been given to those poor farmers to develop that land. The investors come with huge amount of resource and mechanized farming system, so they have the capacity to make use of that land by drawing the water from where it is. Resettlement plan is one of the focus of the organization because there are areas that are very productive, and the government intention is to take community from unproductive area to very productive area. But the problem is we have regional, ethnic divided community. And when people are resettled in other ethnic areas, there is a lot of conflict. And a lot of people die because of that. And it is almost very hard to think of that. So I think it's better to help the community to reestablish in their area by looking into rehabilitating the environment. And when I think of the help that we need at Ethiopia level, you can see the resource is very immense, especially the water resource in Ethiopia is so immense. We can tap to those water resources. We are not even using much of it. Only 3% of the fresh water we have is used. And the runoff is almost unused. So if we are helped to tap on this resource, we have the land, enough land that is uncultivated, and all that land could have been enough not only for Ethiopia, but for the whole Africa. That land is very rich and fertile. But the problem is the international community is really fast in assisting us in disaster issue. Of course, Ethiopia is a disastrous area, and millions are starved per year, and we need a lot of money for that. But before that disaster comes, if we get even 1/3 of that money that goes to disaster, I tell you, this resource could have been tapped, and we could have had a difference to see a real food sovereignty.